Please welcome my good friend, Deb Goldberg.
It is great to be here, and Tom is right. I'm a real family person, and I came out of a family business, which is kind of a segue, quite candidly, into why I even ran for treasurer and why I bring the orientation that I do to the treasurer's office. So when I go through my remarks, they're actually not hollow. They come from being a grocer, and they come from being a business person, and they come from being customer service oriented. I see the auditor. Hi, how are you? I'm glad to see you. If I'd known you were sitting over there, I would have stepped over and said hello. So I really want to thank the Comptroller again for putting together this summit. I think that they're very important, and it's a way in which to connect the dots of what we in government and outside of government are doing together. I believe that we have the obligation to be transparent and to secure all services for all Massachusetts residents. And I actually have an interesting view of government. I was a chairman of the Board of Selectmen in Brookline, and I used to always say that we have to run it like a business, so at the end of the day, we have the resources to take care of everyone. And that's really what it is. And when we were in the food business, it wasn't much different. The customer always was the most critical. So in the treasurer's office, we are vigilant and hyper-aware of the value that modern information technology adds to the business we conduct. It enables us to reach more people who, for example, need access to information on their retirement benefits, find missing money, which is my most popular time in the year, or claim veterans' bonuses for service to our country, which isn't as well known, and we need to get it out there more and more. So since taking office, it has been my mission to make Treasury more accessible to the public and to highlight our work that we do across the state to bring everyone the services they need and deserve. And that's not that easy in an office that most people don't even know what the treasurer does. They think it's about money, and that's it. I walk into crowds over and over and over again and say, does anyone here know what the treasurer does? If you do, raise your hand, and no one raises their hand. And what makes it even more confusing is very few treasurers in the country do what this treasurer's office does. So it's really critical that we use innovative, straightforward, secure, and dependable technology. And today I'm going to give you a brief update on where some of our projects stand and then where we're headed. When I first came into transition in the treasurer's office, one of the things I noted was how antiquated everything about IT was. In fact, this was 2004, the end of 2014, and everyone in the office was still using BlackBerries. I looked at them and said, they handed me one. And I said, I don't have a BlackBerry. I don't intend to have a BlackBerry. Now, 90% use iPhones and a few have Sanyo. But that's just an example. We also didn't have a strategic approach to all the areas throughout Treasury. And there were projects that had been languishing for years, and I mean years. So we made a head of IT, literally went out and hired a head of IT. And by the way, for those of you who are women, it is not true that women are not in IT because the head of my IT division is a woman. So internally in Treasury, we are proud to say that we've developed internal upgrades that allow us to be more savvy, to control workflow. We rolled out the first ever intranet, which is a singular online page that brings Treasury staff together, featuring a Treasury staff newsletter, department highlights, and all of HR and operational information online and in one place. When I first came in, I started having department head meetings which had not happened before, and deputy treasurer meetings. And I wanted everyone to be sharing with everyone because we serve the public. So if you work at the lottery, but you're in a community where someone's asking you about unclaimed property, you really should know what's going on in there. And so the internet was the next step in that, to take it down all the way so that others within Treasury knew everything that was going on. We have 11 departments, all through Treasury. It also is really an excellent way for advancement. Sometimes people feel they're stuck in the area that they're in, but when they know what's going on across Treasury, they can see greater opportunities for themselves. Our IT department worked hard to upgrade our online infrastructure to move our email software to a cloud-based system. Let me tell you, there was resistance to that, but it made it more accessible across Treasury. And lastly, we've implemented collaboration software called SharePoint, which has allowed Treasury departments to create external working groups, including some public-private partnerships, to share information of ongoing projects. They are products. All of these internal upgrades allow us to work better, more collaboratively, and more effectively, allowing us to bring better customer service to all the residents across Massachusetts. As for our Office of Economic Empowerment, last year I told you about our equalpayma.com website. Who was here last year? Some of you may recall I said, you can pull out your iPhones right now. I will not be offended. You can bring this up on your iPhone right now. Well, we now, what we found is that was one of our best tools for helping employees and employers learn information they needed to understand, evaluate, and achieve wage equality in their businesses. So just after last year's event, we launched another website called myfinanciallifema.org. This website is designed to provide tools to all individuals at different stages of life to conquer their personal finances, including women, families with children, high school students, veterans, seniors, and those going through life changes such as marriage and divorce. We did this because we wanted to take all the work we were doing in the financial literacy space and make it available at 6 in the morning, 12 noon time, or 2 in the morning, but whenever anyone needed access to that kind of information. We've had 7,000 visitors, primarily from Massachusetts, but our reach has gone countrywide, and even we've had hits from different places in the world. And it includes both male and female users from every age group that I just cited. We all know we may have difficult issues around personal finance at each stage of life. So this website is providing tools and informational videos to all Massachusetts residents. It's attractive and user-friendly, and it's another tool that the Office of Economic Empowerment provides for financial literacy education. The lottery. New technology comes at a pivotal time for the lottery. Year-over-year sales have been stagnating, and competition is increasing. Now, some of you may note that we had a record-breaking profit last year. Well, that's because I brought in a lot of business expertise. We rationalized operations, believe it or not, right down to sales routes to save gasoline. But the reality is that our main product line, and the reason why Tom is nodding his head is he goes through these numbers with me all the time. Our main product line, those scratch tickets that you either love or hate, sales are flat or declining. I am happy to report, though, that the rollout of our new digital terminals is going really smoothly. Anybody who works in IT, there's always knock on wood. And it's a process that began last year. Over 2,800 of these new terminals have been installed in communities across the state, and we plan to install the rest by the end of the year. I know a lot of people who are going to miss those big blue boxes, but they all live in foreign countries and they're just looking for extra parts. They are 20 years old and highly, highly used. And so these terminals, which have been so critical to our business, are going to give us more information, more real-time information on what's selling where and how. And these are the kind of things that we need to know to be more sophisticated in our approach. They're being distributed proportionally throughout the state based upon region size, and they are going to provide a more user-friendly system for our brick-and-mortar retail partners, our customers, and consequently our communities. Because one of the things I am constantly reminding people about the Massachusetts Lottery is it is mission-driven. When I talk profit, it's about making sure we get all of those resources back to every community throughout the state, so that when it does snow or ice in April, there is the money there to clear it off the streets. The next step to modernize our lottery would be our ability to bring it online, an innovation that we've been working on for a long time and we will continue to work on the future. Unclaimed property, again, I'm telling you, this makes you unbelievably popular, and so being the customer service person I am, I actually read the insert in the newspaper and look for people's names I know and send them emails or make phone calls and say, did you know you have unclaimed property? And it works. So every day we work hard to return more than $2 billion in forgotten savings, checking accounts, uncashed checks, stocks, dividends, and some of you may or may not know, we do have an eBay auction. When we find items in safety deposit boxes, what we do is we ultimately auction them off. We take them on tour around the state, hoping that someone will recognize an item that may have belonged to them or their family members. And we also assure the public that should we have sold something and then they come forward later on, they will receive the value of that product. Last year, we launched our Unclaimed Property Division site, www.findmassmoney.com, and it has been hugely popular. This year, I'm happy to report that we have a whole new online system up and running that allows individuals to claim their property through an online portal. Now, a third of claims are fast-tracked with this new system, which allows people in Massachusetts to get their checks in the mail within 15 business days after application once they've met our eligibility requirements for fast track. This improvement speeds up the process by 12 weeks. We are working to hire more staff to meet the demand of Massachusetts residents looking for their property. Treasury returned over $108 million in property to its rightful owners last year alone. Another exciting innovation in unclaimed property is the use of data analytics to optimize how our ads reach people across the state and making sure that we're using our dollars wisely to reach them, making us more efficient. We are tracking our dollars per clicks on our online advertisements to ensure we're properly placing the ads and using our ad budget efficiently. Unclaimed property is the first Treasury subsidiary where we're using data analytics to ensure that our decision-making is based on data. And we're excited to roll this out to other departments soon also. ABCC. We are proud that the ABCC was one of the first to implement an e-licensing system that provides businesses with a single gateway to apply for licenses. Doing so was critical for our team of 26 ABCC employees who conduct more than 32,000 license transactions annually throughout the state, giving businesses in every one of your cities and towns speedier, more effective service so they can get to work in their businesses. The e-licensing system upgrade has expanded service to new licensees, in turn generating more direct revenue to the state's general fund, an anticipated $4.9 million in fiscal year 18. We've also upgraded the online system for existing licenses who are renewing online, and they can use our bulk automated renewal system, giving them faster and more efficient service. We will continue to work closely with our partner EOTSS to expand our e-licensing system, because investing in the ABCC will allow us to modernize and keep up with a rapidly changing industry, promoting local and statewide economic development and improving health and safety outcomes. So, these are just some of the things going on in the Treasurer's office, and as you can see, there are many exciting, innovative, and technological advances taking place, making improvements from BlackBerry to iPhone to e-licensing and expediting unclaimed property. We are consistently seeking new ways to improve service delivery and transparency in order to bring all the residents across the state the sense that they have responsive government. So I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Comptroller Tom Schack for more than his friendship and his involvement at the lottery. He's a huge proponent for advancing the lottery into the 21st century. He doesn't want to see us end up like Toys R Us, and who is unfortunately late to the game to online sales. And I look forward to being back here with you all next year to talk about many more exciting things that we plan to do throughout all of the Treasurer's varying offices and keeping up with the 21st century and where the world is going. Thank you very, very much.